I don't normally do videos very often. I don't really do them at all, honestly, and I've never really posted anything to YouTube or Facebook or anything till like right now, I guess, because I didn't really prepare anything. I didn't really get dressed for anything. I didn't really do my hair, or I didn't put on. I have an old ass sweater on. I and I'm pretty sure that I don't smell well either. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Today's weird. It's one of those days in which I feel like God motivates in the weirdest possible times. He inspires in the weirdest possible times. He and right now is one of those times. I feel like I just have to share this, post this, and that is that through it all, it is well with me. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people know that song, but man, it really hit me today. That a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why does God allow tragedies happen to people? You know, well, Jesus said that, it rains on the just and the unjust. To me, all that matters that, when it rains on the just of tragedy is what kind of umbrella do you have? You know, what's what are you holding on to during that time, during that tragedy? Loss of life, loss of a friend or family, loss of finance, loss of your money. It's gone, disappeared. For whatever reason, whatever, through your own personal mistakes, or it just happened. House burnt down, car accident, you're in the hospital, bills mounting, all that. You feel. And even though sometimes, a lot of times, it happens suddenly, you know, we're not raised in, a lot of us are not raised into it. A lot of us are not, we're not living, as in, say, Haitians live in Haiti, or people in other, third world countries that are absolutely, they're raised in poverty stricken, a poverty stricken society. Uh, so, so to a lot of us, it's that. I mean, even, people here in Los Angeles, I live here, we have a population of over, probably, I'd say, 60,000 homeless living here. 60,000 people living. And I drive through them all the time. I drive through the neighborhoods all the time. And I see Tent City on both sides in downtown Los Angeles. And it's a tragedy. It's horrible, right? So, but even though most of you have probably seen that, if you've paid attention, you realize what I'm talking about. But even those people, those poverty stricken people, don't even compare to the poverty stricken people in Haiti. Don't even compare to those people. That's how bad it is. So, but either way, they're living in a deeply seated, despaired society within themselves, you know? And through that tragedy, I don't know if I have a right to say this or not, but through it all is well. You have to start somewhere, even from the bottom. That no matter the destruction of our houses and our homes and our lives, the foundation of Jesus has got to remain to build another one. And even if you can't, I will live in the rain, because He exceeds that. He will never take away from me more than what He has already given to all of us, all of mankind. He will always give us more than what He could ever take from us. always. That there will be nothing he can take from me that will never exceed what he's ultimately given, which is his grace and his love and his understanding of of mankind, of humans, of people. The worst of us can never exceed the greatness of himself. We can't. Even historically, cannot exceed the greatness of what he has given us. That's how great it is. That's how magnificent it is. And it's hard to wrap yourself around that comprehension of that, because we see, experience, and know tragedy. We see and know the experience of absolute heartbreak. But he will never break my heart to the point of which will never exceed what he has given me to replace it with. Never. You can't. He's given us that opportunity. That through our worst destructions, our worst times in life, our worst tragedies, the loss of a mother, loss of a father, loss of a wife or children, loss of these things, that tragedy can never exceed what he has ultimately given us as success. He has sustained us. You will lose things. But even though I've lost, I haven't lost. I know it's hard to believe or understand, but you have to, number one, have Jesus living within you and yourselves, to look within yourselves to understand what that means. That even though I have lost, I have not lost. Because he exceeds my loss. No matter what it could ever possibly be, he exceeded your loss. His grace in that Bible exceeds whatever loss. And throughout history, that Bible has maintained itself through all history. It was never burnt or destroyed. Those documents that made the pages that we understand between Genesis and Revelations, they maintained throughout history. Out of all the documents and books and libraries that have been destroyed and decimated throughout time, those survived. That Bible survived. That word survived. It survived to now. The finished project, the finished product that God offers us survived. It survives today. It is always exceedingly greater than our greatest technology. It's never obsolete. It's never outdated. It's been around 2,000 years, and has always exceeded and succeed computers and our smartphones. It will always succeed all of that. Those things need to be reformatted. They need to be reestablished, and those things, computers they need that. They need upgrades constantly, because they are always, through time, just become obsolete. They have to constantly be updated, or their software becomes obsolete. And through time, the hardware eventually becomes obsolete. But the Bible has stayed the same. It's the same word, the same pages, the same Genesis and the same Revelations. The same Jesus then, the same Jesus now. And tomorrow it will be the same. Jesus does not need to be reformatted. It does not need to be upgraded, because he is always ahead. He is always the elite. He is elite above all the other so-called holy whatever gods. Always. He'll be here. His name will be here long after all of us have gone. After this generation is gone, Jesus will be in the future. And day by day, I look at society nowadays, and it's only getting worse, and it's going to get worse because the population of the world is going to get bigger. It's going to explode. And sin lives within each and every one of us. So the greater the population, the greater the sin. You know, when we get to heaven, I think all of us will have probably the same questions, if we have questions, if questions even matter at that point in time, if any of us have the opportunity of walking up to the Lord and saying, why? Why? Why'd you allow this? Why'd you allow that? Why didn't you give me this? Why didn't you give me that? We will ask them all. Why didn't I have this? Why'd you take my sons or my daughters? Why did you give my kids cancer? Why? And if you've repented and accepted his grace, he will have one answer for you. One answer. He will say, because I wanted you here with me now. Your tragedy